all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it.
You want to know what Clive Davis did for Whitney Houston? He needed her back.
Oh, yeah.
He needed her back. But he needed her back and under his control.
Investigator and actor says he has proof and evidence he's sending to the FBI that Whitney Houston was murdered by two men.
In a candid and revealing interview, comedian Katt Williams delved into the mysterious and tragic death of legendary singer Whitney Houston. Known for his unfiltered style and often controversial viewpoints, Williams offered a unique perspective on the events surrounding Houston's untimely passing. His insights shed new light on the circumstances, sparking renewed interest and debate among fans and the public alike. As Williams shares his thoughts, he brings forward a mix of personal anecdotes and speculative commentary, providing a compelling narrative that challenges the official accounts and invites a deeper look into the life and final days of the iconic diva.
In business, nothing is coincidental. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million, so they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Whitney Houston's case is raising suspicions of foul play, with many believing her death holds eerie circumstances hinting at potential misconduct. What's more alarming is the reported connection between Houston and Clive Davis just before her demise, as she was found dead shortly after their meeting. The spotlight is now narrowing on Davis as the investigation intensifies.
Reports showed she drowned in her bathtub accidentally because of cocaine use and heart disease. But Paul Hubel, he says that is not the case. He is sending key evidence to the FBI.
Clive Davis holds immense power within the music industry, standing out as one of its most influential figures. His impressive track record is highlighted by the launch of Arista Records, where he successfully signed numerous major black acts. The roster of artists he brought on board is remarkable, featuring names like Patti Smith, The Outlaws, Eric Carmen, Exposé, Ace of Base, Air Supply, Dionne Warwick, Ray Parker Jr. and Radio, Aretha Franklin, and Alicia Keys. Davis also played a pivotal role in giving Puffy his initial opportunity to establish Bad Boy Records. However, his greatest success came when he discovered Whitney Houston.
Spending time with her when the picture was inescapable. There were two times, one live, where she came to my home, where we had a...
Astounded by Whitney Houston's extraordinary singing talent and her image as an all-American sweetheart, Clive Davis seized the opportunity to propel her into mega-stardom. This move not only greatly benefited Houston, but also significantly boosted Davis's net worth, reportedly bringing it close to $800 million. However, as Houston navigated the complexities of the music industry, she, like many others, began to notice peculiar and unsettling occurrences. In her 2002 interview with Diane Sawyer, she candidly addressed the challenges she faced and the demons she battled, shedding light on the darker aspects of the industry. During the interview, Houston often appeared uneasy and uncomfortable, choosing her words cautiously. She even spoke of feeling possessed by an inner devil that seemed to control her, revealing a troubling glimpse into the struggles she endured.
Rough. I think I kind of reverted back as I got older and said, well, I'm just gonna party, you know? It was kind of a rebel in me, you know?
In that interview, Whitney Houston brought up her dispute with Clive Davis and hinted at a potential conspiracy to harm her. By divulging numerous industry secrets, she unwittingly made herself a target. Exploiting her vulnerabilities and past struggles with addiction, some aimed to undermine her credibility, ensuring that the public did not take her revelations seriously. The unexpected and shocking news of her demise came at a time when no one anticipated such a tragedy, especially given the circumstances surrounding it. It was a sorrowful twist of fate that profoundly impacted the music world. Tragically, the entertainment industry has witnessed numerous instances where artists, immersed in the demanding nature of their work, succumbed to the scourge of drug addiction. Whitney Houston was no exception. Her ongoing battle with addiction and smoking, coupled with deteriorating health, cast a shadow over her entire career until it reached an irreversible tipping point. The unfortunate turn of events occurred on February 11, 2012. the day before the scheduled Grammy Awards. As music industry luminaries gathered in Los Angeles for the Grammys, Whitney Houston, accompanied by her family and friends, checked into the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Clive Davis, Houston's mentor, was set to host his traditional pre-Grammy party that evening. While preparations for the festivities were underway, Houston's assistant, Mary Jones, arranged her dress on the bed and then left the room. During the brief period Jones was away, something transpired that led to the tragic discovery of Houston unconscious and submerged face down in a water-filled bathtub upon her return. The mystery of what happened during those moments was partially clarified by the coroner's report. Tragically, Houston was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. that same day.
George, it happened here at 3:43 yesterday afternoon when a member of Houston's entourage located her body inside this hotel. So far, police in the court.
During the investigation, police discovered an open champagne bottle and a spoon containing a white crystal-like substance near Whitney Houston. Additionally, a variety of medications, including an antidepressant, a muscle relaxant, and allergy medication, were found in her system during the autopsy. The coroner's report, released several weeks later, attributed Houston's death to heart disease, cocaine use, and accidental drowning. It was also revealed that Houston had a mild case of emphysema, a condition affecting the lungs and causing shortness of breath, contributing to the gradual loss of her captivating and powerful voice. Numerous speculations about Houston's personal life emerged, explored in films, documentaries, and biopics released both before and after her death. However, amidst all the scrutiny, what remained unwavering was Houston's musical prowess and her soulful, mesmerizing voice. On one end of the spectrum, Clive Davis is revered and celebrated as a highly accomplished producer. He is renowned for his ability to nurture a diverse array of artists and create musical masterpieces that have left an enduring impact on the industry. His legacy and innovative practices have firmly established him as a pivotal figure in shaping the modern music landscape.
Consistent with what you're writing about, you could go from one side of the stage to the other.
Yet, lurking in the shadows is a contrasting perception of Clive Davis. Some voices paint a more nuanced and controversial picture, suggesting a darker side to his persona. Critics portray him as one of the industry's early gay gatekeepers, allegedly wielding influence through manipulation and calculated actions. These claims depict him as a strategic operator, maneuvering behind the scenes and orchestrating moves that extend beyond the public eye, casting him as a cold-blooded manipulator.
He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control.
In the intricate tapestry of the music world, Clive Davis occupies a dual role, revered as a legendary figure yet also cloaked in speculative whispers. This duality is emblematic of the complex nature of the entertainment realm. His alleged mentorship of Diddy adds another layer to his enigmatic persona.
Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
While Clive Davis has earned acclaim for his musical productions, he now finds himself at the center of discussions regarding his personal life. After 2 marriages and divorces, Davis embarked on a journey of self-discovery, openly exploring his attraction to men as well.
That I opened myself up after the failure of my second marriage, having read something about bisexuality.
During this period of self-reflection, Clive came to the realization that his sexual orientation was not exclusively heterosexual, marking a significant departure from the convictions he held during the first 5 decades of his life.
Open myself up to the possibility of a relationship based on the person and not on...
In his published book, The Soundtrack of My Life, Davis recounts that his initial experience of engaging in a sexual encounter with a man took place during the Studio 54 Inches era, a period when he was married to his second spouse, Janet Adelberg. On this night, after imbibing enough A, I was open to responding to his S overtures, Davis wrote. Was I nervous? Absolutely. Did the heavens open up? No. But it was satisfying. The experience prompted a period of soul-searching and self-analysis. Following his separation from Adelberg in 1985, Davis entered into relationships with individuals of various genders. Since 1990, he has been involved in 2 enduring relationships, both with male partners. "You don't have to be only one thing or another," Davis said in an interview with U.S. chat show host Katie Couric. "I opened myself up to the possibility that I could have a relationship with a man as well as the 2 that I had with a woman." In another chat, with Nightline, Davis complained that BS is maligned and misunderstood. "For over 50 years, I never had S with a male," he said. "It wasn't repressed. I had very good S relationships with women." Clive said that he is not ashamed of his S orientation. He said, "But I never stopped being attracted to women. Bi-S is misunderstood. The adage is that you're either straight or gay or lying. But that's not my experience. To call me anything other than bi-S would be inaccurate." However, his alleged involvement in extravagant parties with open use of various substances, along with Whitney's body being found with substances present, has led to speculation that he may have been involved in her death or at least introduced her to substances. Furthermore, he was reportedly the last person she met before her demise. The saga began in 2006 when Whitney Houston filed for divorce from Bobby Brown, as reported by MTV News. Their union had been marred by controversy, domestic abuse, physical violence, and accusations of infidelity, culminating in a tumultuous journey. Following the divorce's finalization the subsequent year, Houston was granted full custody of their daughter, and they parted ways. In a revealing interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2009, Houston accused Brown of exhibiting jealousy and subjecting her to both physical and emotional abuse. After the divorce, Houston made concerted efforts to rehabilitate her public image. In contrast, Brown remarried and expanded his family, having 3 more children with his manager, Alicia Etheridge. According to The Star, they exchanged vows in 2012, mere months after Houston's tragic passing in a hotel bathtub at the age of 48. Despite the tumultuous drama that characterized their relationship, it's acknowledged that a profound love persisted between them. Brown was reported to have shed tears during a performance upon learning of Houston's untimely demise, as documented by The Hollywood Reporter.
If I could get those 2 days back. My daughter would.
Contrary to popular belief, it was revealed that Whitney Houston's husband was not solely responsible for her downfall. Other individuals played a role in her struggles. While Bobby Brown has often been held accountable for Houston's substance abuse issues, Robin Crawford, the singer's close confidant, disclosed that signs of problematic substance use were evident in Houston before she even met Brown. During an NBC interview promoting her book, A Song for You, My Life with Whitney Houston, Houston's best friend, who also claims to have been her lover, opened up about the Grammy winner's history of substance use. Houston tragically passed away in 2012, with substance use cited as a contributing factor in the coroner's report. Paraphernalia associated with substance use, including a small spoon with a white crystal-like substance in it and a rolled-up piece of white paper, was found at the scene. When asked by Craig Melvin when she realized Houston had a problem, Crawford responded, "I would remind Whitney that, now you know we said doing coke couldn't go where we're going and we're already there, so we shouldn't be doing it. However, I'd noticed that she would go ahead and do it." Crawford continued, "She was having difficulty stopping." Crawford and Houston first crossed paths as teenagers at a summer camp in 1980, where their relationship turned intimate, as revealed in Crawford's book. However, Houston reportedly ended their romantic involvement in 1983, citing concerns about how a same-sex relationship might impact her burgeoning career after signing with Arista Records. Despite this shift, they remained steadfast friends, with Crawford taking on various roles in Houston's life, including personal assistant, roommate, and notably maid of honor at Houston's marriage to Bobby Brown of New Edition fame in 1992. Contrary to the public perception that Brown introduced Houston to substances, Crawford's book, as highlighted by Melvin, clarifies that Houston had engaged in substance use before Brown entered the picture. Crawford acknowledged this, stating that while Houston wasn't a consistent substance user, there were occasions when she would partake, occasionally overindulging.
I didn't get into really heavy drugs until I met Whitney, but it destroys people.
In response to the persistent blame placed on Brown for Houston's substance abuse issues, Crawford emphatically stated that Brown did not introduce Houston to substances. She refuted the notion that he brought her down. Regarding speculations surrounding Diddy and Clive Davis's connection to her death, reports gained traction when Clive himself admitted to being the only one with Houston in her final moments. Clive Davis holds immense power within the music industry, standing as one of its most influential figures. His track record is remarkable, particularly when he launched Arista Records, where he successfully signed numerous major black acts. The list of artists he brought on board is impressive, including Patti Smith, The Outlaws, Eric Carmen, Exposé, Ace of Base, Air Supply, Dionne Warwick, Ray Parker Jr., and Radio, Aretha Franklin, and Alicia Keys. Davis played a pivotal role in giving Puffy his initial opportunity to establish Bad Boy Records, but his greatest success came when he discovered Whitney Houston.
Spending time with her when the picture was inescapable. There were 2 times, one live, where she came to my home, where we had a...
Many people believe that Clive is the one who introduced her to substances. Given Clive's history, it's no secret that he has been in the headlines for dealings involving substances. According to a civil suit filed against Mr. Davis, evidence surfaced suggesting that Mr. Winshaw had allegedly misused the company's funds. Mr. Winshaw was summoned before the Newark grand jury and subsequently discharged by Columbia on April 10, 1973. Columbia's investigation into Mr. Winshaw's actions led directly to Anthony Rubino, the Director of Marketing Administration at Columbia Records, who approved expense vouchers, and ultimately to Mr. Davis, one of the most influential figures in the recording industry. Mr. Rubino was terminated on May 25th, followed by Mr. Davis on May 29, 1973. The lawsuit by Columbia alleged that Mr. Davis had used company funds to renovate his Central Park West apartment and to host an extravagant bar mitzvah reception. Mr. Winshaw was also implicated in the misuse of funds, according to the suit. Numerous music industry insiders interviewed in recent days referred to one executive at Columbia Records, who was commonly known as the House Pimp. Clive was Mr. Super Straight, Mr. Dignity, while this other guy was Gotcha, the one who got whatever an artist wanted, a former Columbia Records employee said. If an artist came to town and wanted a hooker or grass or whatever, he went to him. There's somebody like that at most pop record companies, said a leading executive in the industry. I don't know how many companies are involved, but if one is, they're all doing it. When somebody says, we need 6 broads or 8 bags, somebody's got to do it. But there is a long-standing story behind all this respect, and this can be understood through Jaguar Wright. In her revelatory interview, where she openly criticized several members of the Hollywood elite for their dubious and occultic practices, Jaguar Wright disclosed a shocking claim that Diddy is involved in trafficking for Hollywood elites. This assertion may initially seem weighty and perhaps too extreme to be entirely accurate. However, this sentiment is echoed by Bobby Brown as well. As 2 immensely popular entertainers reaching the zenith of their careers, it's hardly surprising that their paths eventually crossed. The initial encounter took place in 1989 at the Soul Train Music Awards, where they found themselves seated near each other. Whitney Houston initially confessed that she believed she hadn't made a favorable first impression on Bobby Brown. In a 1993 interview with Rolling Stone, Houston recounted the peculiar beginning of their acquaintance, involving an unconventional physical interaction. I and some friends of mine were sitting behind Bobby Brown. I was hugging them, we were laughing, and I kept hitting Bobby in the back of the head. Robin said, "Whitney, you keep hitting Bobby. He's going to be mad at you," shared Houston. She extended an apology for the unexpected encounter, to which Brown reportedly responded with, "Yeah, well, just don't let it happen again," as recounted by Houston. Following this encounter, she assumed he wasn't particularly fond of her and sought to change his perception. In an effort for a more formal reintroduction, she invited him to a party. The 2 maintained a friendly connection, and several months later, Brown asked her out. Their pairing puzzled many due to their vastly different media images. Bobby an R&B singer and bad boy, while Whitney was a pop star with a good girl image. Despite the critics, the lovebirds persisted, dating for 3 years before Brown proposed. Little did they know this marked only the beginning of what would turn out to be a roller coaster marriage.
Up R&B. When you find love, you find it. I mean, it finds you, I should say. Between me and her, it was so instant. We were so much.
The spotlight on Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's tumultuous relationship intensified when they became the focus of the reality show Being Bobby Brown. Premiering on the Bravo network in 2005, the show captured their lives over a few months the previous year. While the series primarily aimed to showcase Brown's career and personal life, Whitney Houston played a significant role. Brown hoped that revealing this side of his life would alter the public's perception of him, but Being Bobby Brown had the opposite effect. The reality show proved to be a disaster for the couple who, at that time, could have benefited from positive public imagery. The cameras seemed to exacerbate their public image issues, and the show did not return for another season. Within about a year, their separation loomed on the horizon. Amidst all the speculation, the theory emerged that Clive had the opportunity to introduce her to substances. One of her fans wrote, "Clive legitimately looks like the DV, the face of a gob-in." As Katt Williams delves into the complexities surrounding Whitney Houston's life and tragic demise, his insights serve as a poignant reminder of the multifaceted nature of fame and the entertainment industry. While his revelations may spark debate and speculation, they also prompt reflection on the pressures and challenges faced by artists like Houston. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.